God gave you the capacity to see the generational curse because he gave you the capacity to conquer it. Have you ever been upset or curious as to why no one in your family sees what you're seeing? Nobody else has connected the dots that you are? It's not because they're inadequate. It's not because they don't have an anointing on their life. It's not because they're not locked in. It's because God called you to do it. There are certain things from generation to generation to generation that the enemy has had his ball with in your family. Trigger warning just in case. Whether that's insecurity, whether that's mommy issues, daddy issues, is being taken advantage of, is having a mindset that's way beyond your years in the sense that you're fast for your age. There are tons of things that the enemy just tries to keep in a loop from generation to generation, because if he keeps it in a loop, he can keep you. You're called to be the difference, which means that you're going to go through things that you feel like nobody else is going through. You're going to have to exercise your faith in a way that you feel like nobody else has to. You're the oddball out on purpose, love. And I know that it's not fun to hear. We all love to talk about the end of Job. We love to talk about the ways in the end of the story where everything gets right and looks right. But what does your steadfastness, what does your long suffering look like? Do you know how to suffer with class? Like, really hear me. Do you know how to suffer with class? I am one of the most vulnerable people I know, and it's not because I'm in tears all the time, contrary to popular belief. It's because I wear what I'm feeling when I need to feel it. I'm not going to act like this situation doesn't hurt my feelings, because when I can say the truth that this hurts, that this sucks, it puts me in a position to say, you know what? But it's not my place to say that God is done. And if you can keep yourself in a humble position, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what the situation may look like, to say, you know what, I trust God and I trust his timing and I trust who he is and who he's always been in my life, you're in a position to say, you know what, I'm called for this fight. I'm going to conquer this so that my kids don't have to face the same thing. I'm going to stand firm in this so that God's glory can be shown through me. God chose me, which means I may go through some suffering. Okay. I may have times where I don't feel like I can handle it. Okay, but it's because I've never been called to handle it alone. Because many are called, but few are chosen. I chose you. God chose you for the capacity that he's given you. God chose you for the calling that he's placed on your life to say, I can trust you with pain like I can't trust everybody. It is a privilege to be chosen in a world full of people who won't answer the call. You're answering the call not only for you and yours, but for generations upon generations, so that the devil knows from starting today, starting with you, he's through. Ain't no more anxiety runs in my family. Ain't no more sickness runs in my family. All that's over with. You should have killed me when you had me. Can I say that? I mean that wholeheartedly. You should have killed me when you had me. You should have strangled me when your arms were around my neck, because now I know who I am. Now I know the God that stands with and for me. Now I understand what it actually looks like to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and not have to fear any evil, because thou art with me. Now I understand not only just who I am, but whose I am. My daddy don't play about me. You cannot part a water you're not willing to face. Moses was able to part the water because he was willing to look at it. The thing that otherwise would have consumed him. We know how dangerous the ocean is. Something as big and as monstrous as that ocean looked, and as monstrous as everything was behind him, he looked dead at the thing that God was going to move and said, God, I trust you. Trust God in his preparation of calling you to who he's called you to be, to conquer what he's called you to conquer. God would not place you somewhere that you didn't have the ability to overcome without him. Alone, you can never. But with God, all things are possible.